everyone, welcome to session 3, Amazon training, the finding and listing items section, the one that everyone's always super excited for good reason. So I'm just going to dive into this right now. The reason I'm recording this is actually because I have to leave again today, unexpectedly. My dad just told me, and I'm driving up north to Northern California to visit my grandmother. I think I posted the reasons in the group. So, yeah, sometimes these things happen. Just have to roll with the punches, and I'm going to record this for you guys. And the first thing, let's just dive into this. So the very first thing that we're going to want to do is just check that you're on the Google Chrome browser when you're starting to list items. So first thing, I'm on the Chrome browser, and I just know that because, all my extensions are here. The extensions that we downloaded or installed last week will be appearing here. So there's PrimeAway, there's AMZ Seller Browser, and there's Price Blink. So these are the three extensions that are crucial to our listing method. And also the extra one, which is Cashback Watch. But I'm actually going to be using another cashback website. We'll be discussing that further down the process. So first thing is you're going to want to be logged into your Seller Central, and you're going to go to Inventory, Manage Inventory in one tab, and you're going to click on Add a Product. So this is the first tab you want to have open. This will pop up a lot, so just click on Skip. Anyways, so this is your first tab you're going to have open is the Add a Product tab. So that one's done with, and the next one, in the other tab you're going to open, if you're on Mac, Command T, if you're on Windows, it should be Control T, or you can just do File and then click on New tab. And then you're going to just open plain old Amazon.com. So that's the next tab. And you don't need to open this for now. I'm just going to show you how to find items step by step. So the very first thing is you're going to hover over departments when you're on Amazon.com. Hover over departments. You're going to go down to Home, Garden, and Tools. This is my favorite category. But just so you guys know, the categories that we listed are Home, Garden, and Tools, Toys, Kids, and Baby, and Sports and Outdoors. Now, I'm just going to say right off the bat, the categories with the majority of products that are super popular, they're really hot selling. Just the majority of the products I have are in Toys, Kids, and Baby, and Home, Garden, and Tools. And they're both very broad categories. They have, hundreds of thousands of items to choose from in each category. So great to start with, and great for new sellers, because some of these other categories, electronics in specific, there's a lot of scammers on the internet that are trying to, just get, I don't know how to say it, just kind of get a steal online and say, oh, I never received my product, and, they just scam people. They scam sellers. So I just tend to stick away from electronics for that reason. There's a higher volume of scammers. Movies, music, and games, you have to have approval. You have to be selling on Amazon for a few months, and you have to have tons of documents that I don't even have. I don't even sell in this category. So just keeping it simple, we're going to list in Home, Garden, Tools, Toys, Kids, Baby, Sports, and Outdoors. So for example purposes, I'm just going to show you guys Home, Garden, and Tools. And when you hover over this, you'll see all these subcategories. And we're not going to click on any of them yet. We're just going to click on Home. So only click on Home, and I'll show you why. So let's go to Home. And it'll bring up this little kind of Amazon ad page with all these featured products. What we're going to do is we're going to look on the left-hand column, and we're going to scroll down until we see price range. It's pretty far down, so it just says price. And this is totally up to you guys. This is whatever you're comfortable with. It can really be any range. I'm just going to let's do $50 to $200, just for an example. And this is the first step you do once you're on the category page that we're going to. And in this example, I'm doing home. So 50 to 200, and just click on go, whatever your price range is. And you'll see that there was tons of items here. Maybe 10 items were listed on this page, and all of a sudden it just went down to like there's nothing there. And that's because Prime Away is doing its job. It removed all those items that were Prime items, which is good because we don't want to sell Prime items just because they're too hard to compete with, 99% of the time. They're too hard to compete with, hard to make a profit on. It's just a waste of time. So that's good. We just know that Prime Away is doing its job. The little yellow loading sign is generally an indicator that Prime Away is working. And we're just going to keep going along, and I'll tell you what my criteria is just right off the bat. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the ranking. You'll see here in red, right next to the category and right above the item title, there's the ranking in red. And it'll say number 2,000, number 40,000. And this is just Amazon's rankings for that item. How hot selling is it? And the ranking, you want to have a lower ranking. So the lower the ranking, the more hot selling the item is, the more it sells, just the more frequently it sells. So my little sweet spot is items that go up to about 180,000 and under. So basically, those are the items that I choose to list, 180,000 and under in ranking. That just means that they're selling a few times a week at least. And it'll add up once you get your inventory built, you start having, hundreds of items and eventually thousands of items listed. So that's the first criteria. So obviously with this item, it actually fits the criteria. It's ranked at 2,000, which is very low. So this must be selling, once a day at least. And okay, so the next criteria is competition. You want to take into consideration how many other sellers are offering this item. And you just see here in parentheses, it'll say the price, and it'll just say how many offers right next to it. So one offer. This is definitely eligible for me to kind of say, okay, I'm going to open this item up. Once I see that these two criteria match, then we have to go and see if we can make a profit on it and see what suppliers are offering this item. So since these two criteria kind of spark my interest, I'm going to open this in a new tab. So let's just check it out and analyze the item. Broom holder and garden tool organizer. We can see here that price blink. This is where price blink pops up if it detects any lower prices, and it's just saying eBay. So I'm going to go over suppliers in a little bit. Typically, I don't suggest using eBay as a supplier, especially for a new seller, just because they're not as reliable as they could be. So if I think that maybe, I kind of want to look around more just because there's only one person selling it, and, I just kind of want to see what else is out there on the internet. And I kind of have a suspicion maybe I can get it for a lower price somewhere online. So I just copy and paste it into the Google search. And it's looking like just eBay has this item. Take a look. You guys can just, browse around. If it's not on the first page of Google, though, just don't waste your time. Just exit out. Let's not waste our time on this. Keep looking. And I'm going to show you some little hacks that I have. I call them hacks. But anyways, what I keep doing is I just keep scanning. Ranking, offers. Ranking, offers. Just analyze each one. You become so fast at this. It's like second nature. The ranking's great, but that is a heavily saturated item. Way too many offers. 3,003. The only reason I'm not opening this is because the health and personal care category, it requires approval, so stick away from health and personal care as a new seller. Okay, So now I kind of want to show you an example of a good item. So, and just kind of a little page hack I have. I call it a page hack. No one taught me this. I kind of just figured this out on my own. And it's going to allow you to jump to pages that many other sellers won't be able to jump to because they don't know how. I look in the actual link itself here. So, la-di-da, I don't know what any of this coding is, but then I see page equals, and then I see a number. Right here, I can type in any number up to 400. So, it could be anything. It's just going to allow us to skip pages. So, let's do page equals 50 and click enter, and it'll redirect us to that page, and we can see we skipped ahead, 1,000 items, which is nice. And I kind of just jump around like this if I'm having trouble, on a slow day. I'll jump around 51, 81, 25, just random numbers. And you can see here already that we're having better luck. 36,000, it's a good ranking. And since there's no other parentheses here that say, 5 offers, I'm going to assume this only has 1 offer on it, which is cool. So this is an example of one I would open. Here's one that has a ranking of 13,000 and 7 offers. That's eligible. I would open that. So I keep in mind 10 offers or less. If I'm feeling really picky, I do 8 offers or less is my criteria for the competition. And this is exactly how I find my items. And one more thing, if you want to get technical and if you're really having trouble finding items, what I would do is I would scroll down here and I would click on the secret category. And this will only appear if you enter your price range first. So make sure you do that first step, enter the price range. Now you can click on these categories: last 30 days, last 90 days. So let's check out last 90 days. And these are newer items that shouldn't, in theory, shouldn't have as many sellers on them because they're new. And we can already see here 1 offer, 1 offer, 1 offer, 3 offers. These are all items I'd be opening up and checking out to see if I could find a good profit on. Now I'm going to try and find an optimal item to show you guys the supplier and the profit and how I calculate the profit. So, and also how top cashback comes into play. So 1 second. I may do this in the next video because my screencast is going to shut off pretty soon. So yeah, I'm gonna pause this and I'll be back in the next video to show you guys a really, an example of a really good item that I've listed already.